welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. This afternoon, we got some news regarding Professor Wole Soyinka, and apparently there was an attempt to try and, I don't know whether the Fulani Herdsmen stubborn with the property or not. We're not quite sure. But as ever, one fails to understand why is it that cattle, Fulani herdsmen always wander into properties of people, and that is a major problem. That's a major problem. It's from what they're saying here, and whatever the case, maybe there was an attempt. Maybe this could be if you're Fulani herdman, this exemplifies what they consider themselves to be. Not above everybody else, that they can go anywhere and they have the power to roam anywhere. And that is the problem. They don't. They shouldn't. The story, I'll just read this to you. You can see that's Professor Wole Soyinka in the picture there. And there's a sign they say, say no to Fulani terrorism in Yoruba land. And the mere fact of a Fulani herdsman grazing into people's properties, that's actually terrorism. That is actually terrorism that the government is backing by allowing them to go into communities, and for them to totally disregard the boundaries, the natural boundaries created by those people, to show that that's their property and you do not enter anyone's property without their say so. So let's look into this story now and break it down a little bit more. Attempt on Wole Soyinka's life. Ogun State Police Command arrest and detain armed Fulani herdsmen. Now, some sections, some things have come out in back end that apparently the man that was when Professor Wole Soyinka came into saw cows on his property. The person who did this had already scampered. That's what we're getting in terms of indication. Now, so there wasn't, from what we understand, there wasn't an actual altercation, but nonetheless, the cows were on his property, which again shows the lack of regard for rules by the Fulani herdsmen. So that is an issue that needs to be addressed and confronted. Now, let's just read the story a little bit, and always remember with this new understanding that yes, the cows were there and they shouldn't have been there. But now the question is, was the Fulani herdsman actually confronting Professor Wole Soyinka? And from recent indications that it didn't happen in that sense. So, but anyway, let's read the story. So I'm just putting that as a caveat. Now, the herdsmen allegedly gained entrance to Professor Wole Soyinka's residence in a housing estate in Idiaba, Abeokuta, Ogun State capital, while police were alerted as they made efforts to gain entrance into his building. Remember, I said that finally the man had run off, so that says there seems to be some sort of conflicting report there. An unconfirmed report on Wednesday claimed Fulani herdsmen early this morning visited Abeokuta, the Abeokuta home of Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, and made an attempt on his life. The attempt allegedly failed as the herdsmen were overpowered by Ogun State Command of the Nigerian Police Force. The herdsmen allegedly gained entrance into Wole Soyinka's residence in a housing estate in Idiaba, Ogun State capital, while the police were alerted as they made efforts to gain entrance into his building. Ogun State Police Commissioner Edward Ajogun was on ground as a team of police detectives had been dispatched to the area for further investigation. Police observers are of the opinion that the killers are on the second phase of Operation Mass Killing, with incessant murder of prominent people as already revealed by a former governor of the central bank, Dr. Mailafia Obadia. See the video below for his interview where he claimed revelations from repented Fulani herdsmen leaders had hinted an operation kill prominent people in southern part of Nigeria. Now, whether or not that is true or not, I don't know. But like I said, what I will say is, in the first instance, in a sane society, no Fulani cattleman should be walking around in communities. They should be in the bushes. They shouldn't be coming into town. This is an excuse to allow the Fulani herdsmen to go wherever, unfettered access to any, disregarding any rules, failing to comply with stated rules and regulations, and even the Constitution. And it's the same people that will tell you, well, we Fulanis can live anywhere in the country. That's what they will tell you. But if you as a Southerner try and go and do the same thing and say, I'm going to the North, you dare not do that. The rules suddenly become different. Oh, this is Fulani land. You can do as you please. But in the South, they can do as they please. So you can see that, quite apart from whether or not this story is actually as stated, whereby that there was confrontation, which is this subject of dispute at this point. We don't have a conclusive evidence. One thing we are happy with is that, however, whatever be the case, as we speak, Professor Wole Soyinka is safe. So what I will do is I'm going to take that call later. So whatever be the case, we are glad that Professor Wole Soyinka is indeed okay, safe and well. And we should state that. But the mere fact of cattle going into residences is a subject that we can no longer ignore, because that is the premise in which they go into farms and go to places, and people ultimately get killed by Fulani herdsmen, either with their knives or with guns. It's from a proper, quite peaceful situation, or a situation where you're not expecting any violence. It just turns into violence because those herders, they have guns. They're walking around with AK-47 in communities. They're walking around with knives in their hands around their neck. They can then use that to threaten people and kill. I mean, these are the things that is the problem. That shows that the governance, and they've got the tacit support of the military. The military actually drive them into our communities, tell the communities to accept the cattle herders and their cows. And as soon as they're in, the cattle herders now tell the police to attack the community. This is happening all over our communities, over and over and over. And that is the problem. And this is an opportunity for us to discuss this. I'm glad that Professor Wole Soyinka is okay. But this is an alarm bell. What has happened is that the abnormal has now become normal. The abnormal in the sense that Fulani cows are walking around the streets in communities when they should be in the forest, they shouldn't be in community areas. They shouldn't be where houses are built, and they shouldn't be there. They should be around farms, and they shouldn't go into farms. They should go into forests and graze, instead of going into farms and destroying it. Go into houses, and this is that shows you that they have the support, because the government is a Fulani government. Look at all the leaders; they are all of the key positions are all held by Fulani. They're saying, well, they can do whatever they want, and that is why the situation on ground where they're now killing with impunity. I've had people where, a man was saying yesterday when I was on the program if you watched the program I did with Simon Epa, an old gentleman in his 70s was talking about that the women in the 60s, 70s, 50s, 60s, and 70s are being raped in their farm by the Fulani herdsmen, all because they're taking their cattle and going around and destroying crops of the people. Now, if they find women there and they don't go on a single, they go 5 or 6, they rape single woman, 6 of them. So this is a really serious thing that we need to be looking at. And this is an opportunity. And like I said, I'm glad that Professor Wole is fine. But this provides us with an opportunity to really discuss what kind of psychological damage this rights for so-called the rights to live anywhere that is put above everybody else's life has inflicted on the lives millions of people across the Yoruba community and the Igbo communities, all to just say the Fulani can do whatever they want, and they disrupt, destruct, kill in the new community, in the community that hosts them, and nothing happens to them. They don't face jail. They let go. That is something that we need to be looking at, and we need to be raising this consistently. So this is an opportunity. Like I said, we're happy that Professor Wole is safe and well, and it didn't appear from further accounts that there was actually any altercation. And in fact, from what we're understanding, that the herdsman, when he went in there, ran away. We don't know whether it's a ruse. We don't know. But the fact that that is happening is unacceptable. That's the point. And the fact that the government is not even addressing that issue, as just saying, no, you guys, you need to be going back to where you came from. It shouldn't even be a discussion. But we're having the discussion because the government supports them. The military bosses them into communities. It's as though they're pressing them to disrupt the community. It's like that's their aim. I don't know what you think about that. Let us have your thoughts and views on this. I'll put a stop to it here. I've just read to you what it said, and I've put onto this broadcast there what you see there. Now I want to just do something before is it okay? Yeah, I'm just gonna now. What I want to do is above my head, above all else, I want every Southerner to remember this. Section 33 is more important than Section 43 that talks about the right of any Nigerian to live anywhere in any part of the country. Section 33 is about your right to life. You have the power to protect your life. And that must be something that we must encourage each other to remember. No one, you have the right to life, and no one shall be intentionally deprived of his life. Section 33. I want you all to read that. Please leave your comments and post below this video when you finish seeing it. Please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube and spread the message. And thank you for watching, and I'll be in touch. One more thing before I go. I have a product which I'm using, AG Sarah. It's something I use to help me with my chronic pain. It's a fruit-based product. Like I said, it's got white peach, mixed berries, blackberry, raspberry, blueberry, elderberry, pomegranate, phytosemide, ceramoside, sakura extract, olive fruit, white olive, gymnema, and curcumin. And that's what you find in that product. And there's a sachet. It looks like this. And I take one a day, and I drink warm water. And what I find is that this way. Sorry. You see it there, AG7. So I take one a day. I would basically take the strip of this. I put it under my tongue, and I drink warm water. The maximum you can drink is 2 a day. And it's supposed to help with all kinds of ailments. Myself, I can only go by my own experience. I've found it to be beneficial thus far. I've been using it for quite a few months now. Think about the end of November time, I think. So, and it's helping. And I'm thinking it might be of benefit. If you're interested in it, get in touch, let us know, and we can talk to you about it and how we can go about it. It comes from Malaysia, and you can see the packaging up there. Those are what I'm looking at, what I'm holding are the fruits. You can see all the fruits that are in it. So what we want to do is, if you're interested, let us know. Please donate to Yoruba Rescue Fund. It is time to build a great Yoruba nation.